There are only a few days left before Virtual Door Dealer Conference. If you're listening to this podcast and you want to change your business, I promise you this is going to be a great start. I'm bringing in Kristen Hadid. We got like a half of day of jam-packed content that's going to help you change your business. Please, please, please. This is free because we have amazing sponsors. Go to virtualdoordealerconference.com, sign up, attend, be active, block the time off so you don't have any distractions, work from home, whatever you got to do, but be at Virtual Door Dealer Conference. Also, we only have a few seats left for Summit in Puerto Rico. This can be you by yourself. This can be you and a coworker, a manager. It can be your wife. You can bring your kids. It's going to be fun. They got pools. It's a high-end resort. It's absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. We also are bringing in amazing speakers, both garage door industry specific as well as outside the industry. You won't want to miss this. Some of the best conversations you will have around growing your business will happen right here, not only in the educational meetings, but outside of them with other door guys. If you want to be in a luxury resort with a bunch of sexy big dudes shaking their butts and drinking beers and talking doors, this is the event you want to be at. Make sure you check us out at garagedoorsummit.com. Don't miss out. We only have a couple seats left. Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
What's up, everybody? Ryan with Torsion Talk podcast, and it's a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. Thank you so much for allowing my feet to hit the ground, my lungs to be full of air. I just want to be grateful. All the chaos going on in the world, everything happening in business, the holidays, crazy shoppers, crazy drivers. I just want to be thankful. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about branding. Whether you're a startup or a large company, I am on this kick right now, y'all. And I am telling you, branding has never been a bigger deal than it is right now for so many reasons. When branding creeps into my world of digital and influences things at the capacity that it is now, I have to pay attention to it. I have no option. So let's dive in. Here's what I'm seeing, y'all. Google is taking your brand into consideration. So a lot of people in the garage door industry think about brand, they think like Dan Antonelli, right? They think logo, they think vehicle wraps, and that's perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with that. I think that is part of your brand. What I tend to think of is getting in circles that you're not currently in with a broad approach. Now, people like Dan make you look good when you do it, or make you look better when you do it. But your brand is really based on your values, who you are, who you serve. That is your brand. You want to echo out of your company, your culture. That's your brand. Okay. And I just scheduled a date to do like a webinar or like a workshop with you guys. We're going to do it for, I may open it up to everybody, but I really want my Mark Annuity clients on there really bad, my GDU people, because I can't begin to tell you how much I'm seeing brand influence digital marketing with Google. It's insane. Okay. So let's go over a couple highlights. I'm going to hit on some things that I think just need to be whispered in your ear so that you don't forget them. A little nudge, maybe stepping on some toes a little bit today, but it's okay. All right. So how many of you have had the idea of recording video for social media? Okay, put your hands down. I know all of you guys raise your hands. How many of you guys actually do it consistently so that you can put that content out? Okay, so no one raised their hand. Just kidding. All right, so here's what it boils down to. You're not alone. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm in the same boat. I prioritize video every January of every year, and I do tons of video content. I push it out on social media. And then like every year that I try to do it, I get a little bit further. So first year, it was like a couple weeks. Second year, it was like February. Third year was like March. Fourth year is like, April. I'm going to continue to try because I feel like trying and failing is better than not trying at all. And we talk about video and the content that we create, and we really just need to have a very simple plan. Like, what would the plan look like? Okay, well, let's build it a little bit, right? Let's talk about that. Let's say that you only wanted to create 2 videos a week, just 2. All right. That's not a lot. That's not horrible. That's easily done. You can create 2 videos a month. Now, what would those videos consist of? Well, the first one could be, you could ask one of your clients when you finish and they're like, oh my God, this has been the best experience ever. Hey, would you mind taking like 60 to 90 seconds to share your experience on video? If the answer is yes, then you flip it on. You use your cell phone. Literally, this is one of the best cameras that you're going to get if you have an iPhone. If you have an Android, I don't know what your problem is, but get an iPhone, and then there's settings in your iPhone that you can change in video. You can shoot cinematic 4K, 60 frames per second for actually 30 frames per second. For you can shoot HD, I think, in 60 frames per second, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, you want it there's 2 different ways to shoot video. If you're watching the podcast via YouTube, you can see my demonstration here, but you can hold it vertically. This is great for Instagram. You have Instagram and YouTube Shorts are all going to be vertical, right? So this is considered like portrait mode. Or you could do landscape, which is sideways, right? And record the person. The key is, there's really only a couple keys that I think are super important when shooting this video. One, you don't want it to be super shaky. So try to hold it as still as possible. The cool thing about newer iPhones is they have a balancing feature that kind of helps do away with some of the bouncing. So if you're standing still, you just try to hold it with 2 hands, hold it steady, and for a minute and a half, you have this person talk, and you're good, right? I want to start recording probably like 2 or 3 seconds before they start, and then stop recording 2 or 3 seconds after. That gives the editor, or if you're going to use an editor, a little bit of leeway towards the end, the beginning. So I'm going to shoot I'm going to have good audio, which your cell phone has good audio if you're standing close enough. If not, you can go buy wireless mics. They got all different types. You can do a wired mic out of a cell phone. This doesn't have to be very expensive. There's options out there for $100 or less, and you can literally get an adapter for your iPhone and plug it directly in. You can have people hold the mic up to their mouth. It's not uncommon. It's kind of it's a lot of people do it. A lot of content creators do it, so it's widely accepted. That's not awkward. You can have them hold the mic. I would rather it be pinned on their shirt or them hold it than not use a external microphone at all, or whatever. Always check your video content after shooting it to make sure that you did get good video, and make it comfortable, make it fun, right? So when you're asking somebody, oh my God, that's excellent feedback, I wish all of my customers could hear that. Wait a minute. Are you down to do a quick 30, 60, 90-second video where I can get what you just said? Because that would help my business so much. And if they're like, nah, I'm not really into video. Okay, that's a problem. A photo, or would you mind just leaving me a review on Google? Something like that, I think, is great. Now, if it's a female and she's not dressed up and she got like hair rollers in, you might want to skip the video and the photo part and just go straight to the leaving the review. But I still would read the room and try every chance you get to get video testimonials. If you get video testimonials and then you put those on your website and you get dozens of them and they're spread out all through the site, how powerful would that be? Like, you don't really see that in the garage door industry. So doing that. Another type of video that you could do is before and after, discussing what your findings were on the page, or not on the page, but what your findings were in the garage, or whatever you're looking at. I know we have other home services that listen to the podcast. So if you're doing HVAC, if you're doing electrical, like, what are your initial findings? What did you find on the safety inspection? And then, like, how did it go? Right? So doing behind the scenes. Now, employees can do this. It doesn't have to be the business owner. I would literally pay my employees extra for being content creators. So if my employees come to me with a usable video that I can put on social media on my website, I'm willing to pay for that. $20, $30, $40, $50 per video. That would be amazing. Now you've got 5 or 6 different people out there creating video content for social media. Now, once you like make a list of all the different types of videos, then you just try to get 1 or 2 a week. When I say video editors earlier, I don't mean that you really need to edit the video. These days, you can do video editing a lot of times in the app that you're uploading it to. So Instagram, YouTube, things like that. They have like little clip tools, overlays, things like that. So strongly suggest you utilize that stuff. And then you got to be careful about your music overlay, because if you overlay videos with music, there's licensing rights and things like that you have to take in consideration. But what it boils down to is sometimes these videos can get tens of thousands of views. Now, what happens is you start to build a following, especially on YouTube. Google owns YouTube. So if you're building a brand on YouTube, that will carry over to your Google brand and your ranking. And I think it's critically important that you understand the value of doing this. I know it's a pain. I know you may not want to be in front of a camera, but there's other ways to get video where you don't have to be. I do believe it's important that people see your face, because your brand is your people. It is your culture. You've got to get that out of like your business so that people can know what makes you different. What makes you different is who you are, what you believe in, your why. All of that is super important. So having video content behind the scenes, clips of meetings that you're doing, all of that stuff. I think that is excellent information that people are intrigued by. Not a lot of people know what it's like being in the garage door industry. So giving them that behind the scenes videos, I think is super intriguing.
Hey guys, I found something that changed my business and I want to share it with you. We've created packages that have included some of the best products in our industry to offer our service customers. The heart of that package is Stealth Hardware Kit. Stealth Hardware is the quietest hinges on the market. I challenge you to buy at least one of these, test it for yourself. Put it on your truck and design a quiet performance package for your customers willing to pay for a better, smoother running door. Buy your Stealth Hardware Kit at Service Spring, do a search for quiet hinge, and then buy that. You can buy a double or single door, 7 or 8 foot tall, and promise you, it'll change your service forever.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
So let's carry on. You can do video on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Facebook. You can do lives. I don't know if you're comfortable doing lives, but lives are great as well. Q&A on garage door stuff. Maybe I'll try that this week and let you guys know how it goes. But don't try to make it perfect. Like, people need to see the authenticity of you. And that includes like the mistakes and maybe even some of the uncomfortableness that you have in front of a camera. Like, just be yourself, be relaxed, chill, be yourself. You can boost these videos online. I think that's an excellent $10, probably not much at all, is needed for that. Now, in the world of where all these big companies are spending tons of money, you can beat them out on the ground game. And this is one way to do it for virtually free. I'm literally telling you, you can record with your cell phone and you can get a ton of business for free, a ton of business. Not only that, it's one of my favorite types of marketing, which is compound marketing. I like the word compound marketing. I don't know if anybody else has ever used it. I kind of made it up, but I like it because it's like compound interest. It builds on itself. One video gets another view for another video and eventually gets followers and reputation and brand recognition. And then it just becomes so much easier. But consistency is key. You got to stick with it. Now, you and I, we're going to make this promise this year that we are going to make videos. We're going to stick with it. We're going to grow our businesses and we're going to make them great. We're going to make them great again. All right. So here we go. Tell stories, how-to videos, testimonials, behind the scenes, live streams, product demos. Guys, I've got a YouTube video on a open, like a, what do they call it? Open box video, where I'm literally opening the box of a WLED LiftMaster and walking through the components, or the 8557 or whatever it is. It was a long time ago. And it's got a ton of views. And we've even gotten phone calls from people in in our market to book appointments for that opener because we did that video. Absolutely insane. That has been a lead source for us. Now, I'm not saying it's been a huge lead source, but we have gotten calls for it. So things to consider. The video quality needs to be like 720 or above minimum. You got 720, you got 1080, you got 4K. Listen, the higher the quality of the video, it's most likely going to be dumbed down on social media anyway. So I don't see any reason to shoot in 4K unless you're going to do post-production and kind of bring it down a little bit. I would shoot in 1080 to be honest with you. And I think most platforms now will stream your video on 1080. So I would focus on that. And then audio's got to be on point. So you got to make sure you check that and make sure that it's good. TikTok, I know, is huge. A lot of people are watching that. It's getting a lot of attention. You have short form and long form videos. I would suggest you do both. The cool thing about long form videos is you can create long form and then you can put that in like AI software. It can chop it up and give you like micro content, short form. And then you, from one video, you create 4 or 5 videos, and then you're able to use those to kind of tease the long form video, which is really cool. So creating videos that reflect your brand's personality and values. We talked about this. This is super important because this is who you are. This is your brand, right? So people like Dan Antonelli probably go through a question process where they learn who you are, who's your customer, what makes you different, what's your core values, what's your mission, vision statement, and they try to create a visual out of that. They are creating the visual representation of who you are in a way that attracts the customers that you want. But your brand in and of itself is you, who you are, what you represent, what you believe in, and your why, all of that. Okay. Building a content calendar might be a bit much, but it's really good to organize that stuff. It's up to you. Listen, I don't care if you spend a ton of time doing this. What I can tell you is if you do shoot video, we can take the video at Markenuity, transcribe it, and put it on a website, and you get all types of SEO advantage for that. Plus, you're going to get some branding. I do think pages rank better if it does have video on it, especially if we're able to transcribe, put the transcription on there, and it's focused like it's basically content that would like supposed to be on that page, right? We can do blogs around some of the videos. It's just so much, right? I think that a lot of people get discouraged because they do videos and they don't think it's good. They can't watch themselves. They're not getting views. I would tell you that it is normal. It's totally normal. I mean, when I started this podcast, it was like very disheartening 6 months in. I'm looking at the numbers and it was really rough. Well, now, I mean, we've got over 100,000 plays on the podcast for a garage door industry podcast. That's freaking crazy to me. And it's about consistency. And I know every podcast I do isn't for everyone. And I know that some of them probably suck and some of them are great. And the analytics kind of show that. And let the analytics tell you what you did right and what you did wrong. But give it 6 months to a year of doing it so that you can have enough data to be able to look at. All right, so let's boil this whole thing down, right? Record with your phone, get a decent mic. Audio's got to be good. Video needs to be at 720 or 1080. I would suggest shooting at 1080. If you're shooting at 1080, you can shoot 24 frames per second. You will see that setting in your iPhone, or you can shoot 30. It doesn't matter. 30 is best. 24 is more than enough. It's fine for what you're using it for, unless you're going to be doing like really fast movement, things like that. Get the video content. I would suggest recording 3 to 6. Okay. And then play around with these platforms, upload them, add some overlays, maybe add some music, whatever. If you're doing Instagram, if you create a business account, they're going to try and get you to create a business account. You're limited on the audio, and the audio kind of sucks. And the audio does play a role on whether or not you go viral. So a couple little things to take into consideration, but I would not worry about any of that. I would just blast it out to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, like all of them. Get them out, get it out, get 3 to 6 recorded. And then as you, every week that you upload one, I want you to record a new one. And you can use ChatGPT to come up with different ideas, create a content calendar or schedule. I mean, there's nothing easier than going into ChatGPT and saying, hey, I need to create a content schedule for making videos for my garage door business with titles, outline of content, and everything. Like, just boom, it'll spit it all out and you're rocking and rolling. So use ChatGPT, use your phone, get good audio, and let's get these videos up and going. I'm going to commit to it. You commit to it. Let's hold each other accountable. I'll check in with you guys later. I hope this was helpful and the push you needed to go ahead and get that story out, get your brand out, let people see that you're human and who you are and what you go through. Do not complain. Do not make it political. I would even stay away from faith-based stuff if it's just me personally. I don't like to mix that publicly in my marketing. If it's one-on-one with a customer, I don't mind. But those are my tips for getting your brand out there, growing your company, and compound marketing. I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.